What's up, guys? How's it going out there? It's going great here because it's Jeff Speakman time once again on the channel as we talk Deadly Outbreak next on Drew Reviews. So, guys, as some of you might remember, last fall I reviewed The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. That was the first of his movies that I'd watched. I'd always heard that Deadly Outbreak was his second best, or maybe even right up there with his first best. So I gave it a watch today, decided I'm going to shoot a little bit of a review for you guys because I do like Jeff Speakman as an actor. He's not the greatest actor in the world, but he does have this charm to him, this everyman kind of deal that is really endearing. So basically the plot of this movie, it's Die Hard in a chemical weapons lab. Pretty much. Jeff Speakman plays this guy, Dutton Hatfield, who, funnily enough, Ron Silver calls Hat Rack all through the movie. That was pretty good. But he plays this U.S. Soldier at this American embassy over in Israel. And these bad guys come in. They're going to take over this chemical weapons lab, and they're going to, have this ransom. I think it was $500 million, led by Ron Silver, who was great. He was in Time Cop before this. Just loved him as Senator McComb in that. He's been in other things like Silent Rage. Just a really good actor. Definitely the best actor in this movie. But yeah, it's basically Die Hard in a lab. And they've all got automatic weapons, and they're taking hostages. Jeff Speakman comes in. He does have a gun, but he's mostly using his hand-to-hand stuff. And just like I said in that Perfect Weapon review, I love when Jeff Speakman comes in with that handsy Kempo karate stuff. He's hitting people, and it sounds like somebody's turned the treble up on a kick drum. It's pow, pow, pow. It's just really good. You almost feel for the bad guys in this movie because he's giving it to them with this stuff. There's a scene in the bathroom with the main scientist lady, and I'll get to her in a second. But these bad guys, they've been instructed to kill her and take the cylinder back to Ron Silver. And one guy decides he's going to get his jollies, and he tries to rape her in the bathroom. They don't know that Speakman's character's there. And he comes in and he has this line about practicing safe sex before he just takes these guys out. And he decimates them. He eviscerates them in this fight. Takes one guy with his pants down and totally upends him. Cuts his Achilles so he has to crawl after him. Because at the beginning, he's not a killer. He's just this embassy guard who just happens to be a badass. But as the movie goes on, they have some great fights. Whether it's there in that bathroom, they fight in this warehouse, around all these gas cans and all this flammable stuff. They go up the staircase and back down. Just some really good action sequences. The ending sequence in this is very reminiscent to Speed. This had a release date of 1996 on video. It didn't get a theatrical release, but I think it was made in 95. I'm going to bill it as 95 in this review, which would have been the year after Speed. So, that last explosive finale takes place on a bus. And you can definitely see, how pop culture had kind of influenced this movie. As for things I like, besides all Speakman's martial arts, I really like how the beginning and the end of the movie were really tied together. At the beginning, him and his son are in this park, and he's teaching them this hook kick, to basically incapacitate a guy. You kick him in the balls. And there at the end, his son has to actually use that kick against the main bad guy's henchman. And so I thought that was a really good callback to the beginning of the movie. Ron Silver in this movie is amazing. I really like how you have a villain who doesn't have to raise his voice. He can tell you exactly what he's going to do, but he talks just like this, just very stoically and matter-of-factly. And, he tells this guy he's going to kill him if he doesn't choose, a hostage. And that's exactly what he ends up doing. I like the way that character was played. Even, just for this direct-to-video release, I didn't feel like Ron Silver was phoning it in. There's a great scene where Speakman's fighting this guy, and he ends up disarming his shotgun from him, and then takes it, and he's like taking it like a sword and just beating him with it before he sticks it up his crotch and shoots him. And then he's got this one-liner that it's both good and bad. Should have worn your bulletproof cup. It's kind of cringy, but at the same time, it's kind of awesome. Not sure how I feel about that. It did make me laugh. The main girl in this movie, her name is Allie. She was played by Rochelle Swanson. You might know from some erotic thrillers in the 90s and early 2000s and titty flicks and things like that. She was okay. She wasn't the greatest actress in the world, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, Denise Richard played like a nuclear physicist or something in a James Bond movie. And so I bought this girl probably more than her, but she did just remind me of a big-breasted bimbo running around on Speakman's coattails in this. But it wasn't bad. As far as some of the cons in this movie, there were some grainy shots, like maybe they were shot with a different camera. You've got your main camera shot that looks great for a direct-to-video, but then there's some insert shots of some soldiers, and then there's some of them up there on the tarmac at the end of the movie, where it's just like it's shot with a different camera or a different film stock or something. It doesn't quite match the rest of the movie, and those scenes do kind of stick out. The biggest bugaboo I had with this movie, I thought the music was really weak. I thought the score was just, at its best, it was okay and passable. At its worst, it was terrible. There's a scene there toward the end after Ron Silver's dealt with that his main henchman comes back out and he has Speakman's son with a gun to his head, and the Israeli colonel is in Speakman's ear saying, "I got the shot," and like that whole sequence there. There's some really really bad music in that at the very beginning of it, and it kind of took me out. I'm like, this doesn't belong here. But aside from that, and a van chase that goes on for probably too long. One of the henchmen, he's chasing Jeff Speakman around like the basement level of this building, these snub-nosed vans, which has this pretty dumb explosive climax to it. I thought that just kind of drug on for a little bit. Aside from that, and some of the not so great acting, but not terrible at the same time, I thought Deadly Outbreak was actually a fun movie. And if you're into Die Hard clones like I am, it's definitely worthwhile. And it's a shame this didn't get a theatrical release. Speakman, I think, got, one or two theatrical releases. Perfect Weapon kind of bombed, and so he went direct to video. This looks as good as any, mid-90s direct-to-video movies, like anything that PM Entertainment did. And in my opinion, it looks better with the practical squibs and the explosions than a lot of direct-to-video or direct-to-streaming action movies today look, with all the shaky cam BS going on. I hate that. I feel like companies today need to go back and watch movies like Deadly Outbreak, or one like I just watched with Robert Patrick called Zero Tolerance by PM Entertainment, and watch how they did these practical explosions and squibs, and just make things look more realistic, and how you can tell what's going on in a fight. I feel like today's movies are missing that. So guys, let me know what you think of Deadly Outbreak down in the comments below. I really enjoyed this movie. I wasn't sure what to expect other than I knew I liked Jeff Speakman, and this was thought of fairly highly in his canon. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 6.25 out of 10. I think it's a fun ride, and I definitely seek it out. I saw it on Freevee this morning, so check it out there. And coming up, guys, like I said, that Robert Patrick movie, Zero Tolerance, I think I'm going to do that coming pretty soon. I'm not sure exactly when. Going to have a Universal Soldier review coming. Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. Really enjoy that movie. Can't wait to talk about that. And coming up soon, it's going to be kind of a co-video with Macho Movie Madness, Andrew Reviews. Me and Brandon are going to do a Dolph Lundgren tier ranking. So if you're into action movies, especially kind of low-budget action movies that are good, and some that aren't, believe me, I watched plenty of those. We're going to do a tier ranking. I watched 30 Dolph Lundgren movies this year. And so, yeah, what a saint, right, guys? We're actually going to tier rank those. And that'll be a lot of fun when that happens. So, guys, be on the lookout for that. If you like what you see on this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'm Andrew, and I'll see you down the line on the next Drew Reviews.